okay, do what you want, but come back and concentrate. Okay, my job is very easy. I will ask the two girls now to see what they see as the common issues that you have identified. Okay, Poon. Yeah.
Okay, almost all the groups answer international curriculum, although you put it as an extra. And the second ranking is research cooperation at host university and study abroad, student exchange program, and joint activities to engage both international and domestic students.
So more or less,
Quite common. This is the most common, but no one choose hosting, visiting international faculty, faculty teaching, and institutional abroad, academic, internet. No, yeah, just 2 points that they.
Oh, you just leave two elements altogether, right? What else do you want to add?
I think she's pretty much mentioned everything. The involvement of the staff in the international activities also.
Okay, all right. So that could be something different from other groups, right? Thank you. Okay, please do.
So my point is that from number 1 to number something in here, or the list, I think that we can categorize into 3 main categories. The first one is curricula. The second one is students mobility, and the last one, the teaching staff mobility, in my ideas, because somehow in terms of their international forums or even research is just under the staff, I mean academic staff. So the 3 categories here we cover is going to be internationalized, in my idea, anyway.
Okay. This exercise wants to tell you that there are a lot of elements, and again, it is context specific. And also for Ajahn, you categorize them in broad categories and then have the subcategories. Some of you at some point, you might want to categorize into 3, 4, or what, okay? So the exercise is for you to really go back and then think, how different are you from your peers? And also the stages, if you have time, discuss with them, why do you put it in 3 categories? No right, no wrong answers, because it's the context specific. It's your choice. And if what you decide is wrong, you change it. We are not God. We make mistakes. We learn along the time. We have many factors that influence our decisions, okay? So IZN happens all the time in different forms and different ways. And by sharing here, you know what other people are thinking. And then you adjust, adapt, adopt, copy, whatever suits you. Knowing that 100% copy and paste, that is the only thing that I say wrong. Okay? Now, next workshop. Okay, don't sit still. I want you to work hard. Okay, they are distributing the paper. I told you today's going to be tough. Okay, so instruction is here. All right, so look at the form and assess your own institution on your own, and then score it, and let us know the result after that, okay? And others could get jealous, so try to hide it. I'm not gonna ask you, okay, individually, okay?
Strategy focus on internationalization or for general?
Internationalization only. We are talking about internationalization. Do you have strategy for internationalization process in your university? If yes, strong, comprehensive, go to 3. You average the total score in your group. Average the total score and let me know the lowest and the highest. Minus. How do you work with the minus? No minus. Come on, student, class. Right, let us know your average score, the total score of your group, lowest and highest as well, and write on the flip chart. Class, if you are good, right after this, coffee. Okay, good. Average the score and make sure that you cover all the 6 issues, okay? Yes, 6 issues. Chart, please. So others will have a look. Yeah, your total score, the average total score, the highest and the lowest as well, okay? Okay, now, you didn't realize what you did on the first day when you were confused and then you were asked to do something that you didn't really understand. First of all, we split you into 2 groups, and then one group would go, which ICN block is yours? Okay, from the lowest and highest. Then you got lost. What the heck is ICN? What does it mean? And then, how could I do this? This group, collective effort, came up with just this one. Actually, this is the original. Out of so many people, over 10 people, 15 people, they come up with just one, okay? But it's okay. Now, this block is in the middle, okay? So this is 1 to 7. This is 8 to 15. 8, and then, now I'm confused. And this one will be to 24. 16. Okay. I may be wrong. Then I'll show you. Now, come to this one. Come to this one. This would be the first block. That means 1 to 7. And then a lot of people go for the middle. Is it the GMS style, the ASEAN style? Everything is safe when you go in the middle, okay? And then one person get the star. 9, the highest. My ICN is best. I have everything. Interesting, right? Now, when we ask something really in broader term, it is always very difficult to identify it. Once you go down to the further detail that I give you, and that is just the startup. Because under strategy, there will be a lot more to the strategy, okay? So you can see and then compare what you have done and also what you have done on the very first day, okay? So this is very interesting for you to think, follow, learn from your group. Now, coffee, please. Thank you. And come back in 15 minutes. Please come back.
Okay.
My intention is this. My intention is actually for us to keep the schedule until 12:30. And then after lunch, could we try our best to finish by 3? Okay? If not earlier, we have to be ambitious, okay? Okay. All right. Or you have to go shopping. Yeah, time to go shopping. Yes. Okay. Now, from the scoring, I really have to admire you. I think you are very honest and then true to yourself to come up with the really lower scores because we don't really care much about internationalization as yet, okay? So here is the interpretation. For the developing group, that means you are more or less around 7, okay? And establishing, you are trying to go upward, and then your efforts have been seen and it becomes more evident. You will be around here. And for those who are more established, they are trying to just enhance the effort, then there will be all this block. So that's why when you look at this block, then more or less you are thinking that you are the establishing. But after you have gone through the detail, when you work on the detail, then you would know that more or less you may fit in with the developing. Okay? Again, nothing is wrong. And this is the continuum of IZN identified by the working group of the Higher Education Commission together with the EU expert. And I think this is quite right to get started. Okay, so this should be something useful for you to really go back and then measure it simply to get started. And don't shock people with far too many things for them to do. Okay? However, we talked a little bit about the mega trends on the first day, and challenging trends go on. We talk about the cross-border that's saying international branch campuses no longer unusual. To many people, this is not the new normal, okay? What has been newer? For the Southwest Airlines, they fire an IT staff because he talks to the machine, he doesn't talk to people. And he doesn't understand because he said, it's so funny, people meet me at the hallways. They always ask me how I am doing. They ask a lot of questions, but he didn't interact. What happened? He was fired. And then Cleveland Clinic said, when the human experience is what counts, one wrong human is one more than you can afford. What does it mean to our new normal world? We have a lot of robots. We have a lot of machines. We have internet of things, IoT, that connect everything, machine talk to machine. And then man and machine, but man to man, none. Good thing this stays on in our region that we have the human interactions. Yet, younger generations is not like us. From Oracle, I really like this one. Empathy is the critical 21st century skill because we don't really know anymore. This morning, I watched a Thai news, and then 4 anchor people were talking with each other. They were talking about helicopter that because of the bad weather, it fell. And then the 3 people all died. But they didn't really show any kind of empathy, the degree that I would love to see. They get started to a new piece of news, laughing, cracking jokes. What is missing in our world? So this is something that internationalization will help us to become more human, to increase our human experience and our student experience, okay? So I would put this one, empathy through exchange, and then normal, new normal. You remember this cycle to be now normal and then go on as a full cycle. What about empathy? People talk a lot about their skills, 21st century skill. I don't really care much. I think empathy is the most important. What about us in the IZN world, in the circle? How do leaders prepare yourselves and then your staff and your students to have empathy and then to be ready for the new normal? Okay? I have cases for you to tackle. Now, the group 1 will have case 1, group 2 will have case 2, and then I have only 4 cases. Now, what about group 5 and 6? No cases. It's about your imagination and about your experience, okay? You talk about some of the issues, cross-cultural experiences on your campus that you didn't really think it would happen, and how you should tackle it. Clear for number 5 and 6? You will be lost, okay? But try it. Think of some of the cases between foreign scholars, students in your campus, and then share in your group and come up with the story and the solution. Okay, so group 5 and 6, you are very special. Use your imagination. Okay. And I'd like you, each group, to share the solution. So at least you know what is going on in another group, okay? And who will be the first one to volunteer? Which one? Group 2. Okay, group 2. New normal me. Okay, who will be presenting? Group 2. Who will be presenting? Okay, I keep the gift. Okay. All right. Read your story briefly and then let them know what is going on and then the solution.
Okay, so our case is about homesick stress for international students who are having probably a semester overseas, and this particular student passed out, had migraine, eating disorder, and rapid heartbeat, and she fainted in front of the class and remained unconscious. So what happened first step was that the supervisor took her to the medical checkup and a psychiatrist, and after that, she had a short break, and it seems that everything seems to be okay. But after a while, a week later, she passed out again twice, and making her class attendance almost impossible. So we are trying to looking for a solution for this poor girl. And what we discussed is that. This is a very, very common case to students, especially younger students who experience having an overseas experience for a long term. And what can be done is that we were thinking that first of all we need a system for international office to arrange something, some sort of orientation or some system to establish and to plug in that student with the community, with the university that she is with, and then we need to have some sort of buddy system, some student to take care of her and to pair up with that students, because this is clearly a physical illness in disguise, from it causes by the mental or psychological, counseling. Yes, disturbances. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Right now, there are a lot of different kinds of illnesses. And it's not just physical, not just mental. It could be interconnected, interlinked. Now, we see more during my 11 years at Fulbright. Only the past several years where we witness our students, our Thai students who have mental illness, okay? Americans then, they tend to be prone to depression. So even not so common, I think this will become your new normal in the future, because we have to be prepared for therapists. It's not just a regular physical illness, but it could concern with something mental and could be so complicated, okay? One girl came and said she had the bad panic attack. And many people didn't know how it was. But we saw American girls sitting there crying for an hour without reason. I can't stop crying. So this is the new normal. What your staff is suffering and will be suffering more in the future. How would you prepare for them to understand, for the whole process to be more systematic? So this is one of the challenges when it comes to exchanges. And it's not just students. It could be your own faculty members going. And how would the whole community will support? What would be the role of your senior leaders or you yourself? Okay? Okay, next group. Who will volunteer? Oh, group one, huh? Okay, group one. Group one. Okay. Take the gift first.
Thank you.
Sorry, in this case, that as a host junior administrators, when we heard the news, I will talk to the students that if he would like to organize the cultural activities, and he should pay the respect to the regulations of the university and the local customs and also the law. If it is forbidden in the university to organize these kinds of activities, maybe we hope that the students will choose another program to show in the university. Okay, the person. Okay, and then in another case, if the university understand the different cultures, that if they will approve them to organize these activities, but he will say yes, but you couldn't do it on the campus. We can let you do it outside the campus. Oh, okay, we will find a place for the students who are non-Muslim students can get together and have these kinds of cultural activities. And then, yes, as a home university administrator, what if this student was from the university? Okay, so just now we have talked to the students, and we will focus on the last one. What would be your university policy for future exchange students? So for in my case, we usually to talk to the students to pay respect to the local customs, the regulations of the university where they are studying, and be applied by the laws of the university of the countries that they are studying. So everything is based on that. We couldn't break the law and the local customs. Okay, thank you.
What seemed to be the challenge? What seemed to be the
Since
challenge?
the challenge, yes, a new normal for the administrators or the principal or the presidents, that especially for the administrator in the dominantly Muslim university. In just now you talk about the student who have the mental disease. Yeah. I ever experienced to solve these kinds of problems. Yeah, these kinds of cases happen more and more. Maybe in the future, it is the new normals for us to make out or to work out the solution. Pre-solution in advance. Whenever it happens, we will organize a team to go abroad to cooperate with the local, with the international partnerships, and also with maybe with the public security department, try to solve these issues perfectly. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So the challenge, is it about LGBTQ? Yeah, it's about the LGBT. If your student happens to be one who has a different sexual orientation in a Muslim country, that will cause a lot more challenges than coming to Thailand. than coming to some of our countries or in some specific context. So that too has become one of the new normal. So to go along with the rules and regulations of the host universities, then this group said, you go along with them. Or the university might have to reconsider how to accommodate the new requirements, the new normal. Okay, so that means there are a lot of gaps for us to do. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Okay. I have tic-tac, tic-tac. Okay, okay, that next and then you follow. Okay, tic-tac. Oh, this is the imagination group, no case. So it's from your own experiences through knowledge management, and that's why we came up with all these cases. You two have a lot to share. Please, Zizi.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Actually, so our group, Mass Spirit Imagination Group. So what we discussed firstly among our members, which topic, which imaginations should be given. So everyone decided to give the orientation based for the scholars or visiting scholars or for the students or whoever come and visit to our campus. So based on the decision, I represent, but it is not an imagination. Even I think it's an imagination, it's a true story. Because recent, my university, last year when I applied for AVI, Australian Volunteer International, for EFL teacher trainer to visit university for teaching English. So I got it. We passed it. So she was here last 2 months back and stayed with us. So this is a true story I want to present. So before she came to the campus, we need to prepare everything for her to be ready. So we prepared the very first thing is information package for her. So including what is information package, she and her spouse must know everything about the campus and the community. If she understands well about the campus and communities, so we will get along with everyone, and happily so we will get the outcomes, very fruitful outcome. So information package includes accommodation. We prepared for her to be very pleasant environment. You know, so if she came, really this is a real story. When she came to campus, they were so happy to see the accommodations to stay with us for a year. And her next step is campus map. She needs to know about the campus. And campus map, we made the campus tour with her and introduced with them with International Relations Office, but I gave the guidelines for all the programs. So when she has done the campus tour faculties visit, she met different professors, different attitudes, different ideas from different subjects. So that's the one thing. Another thing, they need really health and security issue. Very first thing, she asked me how she can get the contact from security and health. So we sent her to the hospital to introduce with the director of health department to make her happy and safer to stay in Miet University with us for a year. And in case, if something happened accidentally, she needs to contact with a security officer in urgent. She cannot come back to campus. So we introduced with her with the security officer. We gave her the phone number in case to contact. Another thing is campus facilities. what do you have? Like sports facilities, internet, Wi-Fi access, the other things. Because she has spare times, she has leisure times out of the last class teaching, so she might need to do the sports, whatever she likes on weekends. This is another thing. And another one is a cultural shock, because she's an Australian. And interesting thing is her spouse, husband, preferred to go to the monastery. And he preferred to do the religious things. And he likes Buddhism. So we introduced with monks from the monastery. We sent him to introduce and let him happy to stay on campus. So the lady, firstly, when she came, she used to wear like a skirt, long skirt and pants. But after 1 or 2 months, she changed her culture. She likes to wear traditional sarong and dress. So even though she really concerned on the rules and regulations, because for us, universities wear uniforms on Monday and Friday for every weekend. So she followed the rules. So she also wore the blue color as a representative of teacher. So this is the cultural things that we can solve the problem. Another thing is community. She needs to know and community. She should be familiar with some communities like a stakeholder and some traditional ceremony. When we went to the ceremonies like donation ceremonies and even for the research purpose, paper reading section, we got a lot of experience and suggestions from her. And recently we finished the tree planting ceremonies. They enjoyed to join us by tree planting. And another thing is we got a lot of things and experience from her background, a teaching experience. She introduced us with a different methodology for the students and gave a lot of experience on teaching and the other things as well. So for them, so from us, we got a lot of benefits. For her as well, so she was so happy to stay with us. And finally, and she's and her husband get along with our community, and I believe we will get along with more activities we can create for the rest of the times. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is the imagination case, but actually it's a true story. What it tells you is that if you have a systematic orientation system, it will help. My big question and big challenge is that, would you be able to do the same to every single scholar and their spouses that come to your circle every time? And if it's your strength, how to make it easier and more automatic? And how to really access that it works? And how to really get all the knowledge about the culture of both sides and feeding it back to your students and administrators and community. So this is just an example, good example of good orientation. The component that can help lead people, foreigners through. Yet there will be more issues, more questions to ask as well, okay? Because we are in the region where we work with our hearts and we provide everything in our authority or outside authority to make other people happy, and we suffer sometimes. How to really balance it, okay? Good. Now, next. Lip balm. Give first.
Yes. Thank you very much. May I present my presentation two portions. One is our group answer the problem scenario, and then I present my experience in studying abroad. In the concerning about the problem scenario, our group decide that the junior administrator must inform their upper rank administrator, so that if our institution have started to make internationalization, we must draw or we must regulate our policy about the information, giving information and observance of the orders of the upper position, so that we regulate the rules or something, procedures about the rank by rank observance. And the another thing is, if the institutions have making the internationalizations already, the institution must have the students or scholars insurance policy or healthcare policy.
Let me cut in here
Yes.
to let you have the context a little. We are talking about one student who is contracted with AIDS. It's confidential, and your staff knows it and keep it confidential from you.
Okay.
Yeah, and you are the last to know. And so this is the solution. Okay. What would you do in this case? Yeah.
Yes. So that the junior administrator have no wrong thing, because the disease is did not spread out to the information to others. Yes. She is the ethical staff members of these institutions, I think. And then the if we started to make internationalizations to our university, we must allow and accept the diversity of the scholar, I think, because religious is the system of belief. So that if we do the establishment of internationalization to our institution, we must accept the religious also, because in the world there are so many religious, so many means traditional religious or the most distinctive religious, Muslim, Christians, Buddhism, so many things. If our institution upgrade to the globalization, we must first accept this kind of diversity. I think that. My answer is finished for this scenario.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, understanding diversity when there are many challenges would depend on your own senior leaders' decisions. So, how to make sure that your own decisions will be sound, practical, and respectful.
Yes.
Yeah. So, this would be the challenge when there are diseases, when there are issues about religions, when there are issues about practices, when there are issues about preference of gender. So these are all the new normal that will come to you all. Good, thank you, thank you. Who else? Who else? Do we have some left? Imagination group.
Well, it is an imagination group, but since we have given us a case, we have discussed on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you discuss on case one?
Yes.
I see, okay, sure.
Is it?
Okay.
So the problem with our group is, I think, the same as number one, having an exchange student who has been transgendered. right? If we are the host, how would you handle the case? I think we have a discussion among us that we should give the priority to the individual student, that particular student. But he, at the same time, he has the duty to respect the right of the other students, the host. So, well, we need, we'll give priority to the students, so we will treat him or her as he preferred, right? But as for the accommodation, well, that comes with the society. Well, others, we need to consider the priority of our host students. Well, whether we'll accommodate that person in a women's hostel or the men's hostel, well, that is the issue, right?
Yeah.
If we accommodate him at the girls' dormitory, will the host accept him, or will he be safe among the men? So that is the issue, right? Well, another question is, as a home university administrator, if this student was from your university, well, we have never ever had a transgendered student in our university, so it is a difficult question. But it depends on which university he is going to study.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if the host university he is going to study has a very strict rules, we need to discuss with our counterparts first, right? Our university policy, well, in our charter, we have no discrimination of our gender, culture, religion. We have clearly stated that there is no discrimination. So that would be no problem for us in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So even though right now you don't have any transgender in your circle, eventually it will be something of your new normal, and how to make it clear about your policies, how to make sure that everyone understands the same policy, and how to make sure that we respect the person as a person, because we all have prejudice. Once you see it, it's really very difficult. Just in imagination is very good. Oh, we accommodate everyone. But once you see the person, who knows? So this would become something that really challenges us in our exchange program, okay, for the new normal. All right, this would be the special Min Tic Tac for you as a last group, and share with others as well. Okay.
Share now?
All right, what was the case that you...
Our university is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Because the series of 3 disasters come to our university. The first one is smoke. We have the second one is earthquake, and then the flood is coming. So we are headache. Everyone is headache. So okay. So the question is, as it was the very first time in your university suffer from such a disaster, what prompt action would you take? The answer to the question is safety. Safety for everyone. So we need to communicate to everyone that we are safe. If not safe, we make it safe. Make it clear to be safe. And for the smoke, we will distribute the mask, and we have like accommodation or basic need supply for everyone, so that and we also discuss about prevention, because series of 3 disasters already. What about the 4th is coming? So we have to prevent it. We don't know. And the second one is, what would be the policy to handle similar risk in the future? So we need to work on disaster prevention policy or management like that. And we need to have a communication system to the disaster bureau or Red Cross or hospital that we can contact instantly when we have such a disaster. For the difference between local and foreign student, I think the foreign student we need contact to the embassy or whatever.
Okay,
Maybe
very good.
in the
yeah,
group
right.
have
Very
something
thorough.
to add or what?
Okay, that is great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think one big lesson is that anything that happens for the first time, they could let you go. And in our culture, I'm not so sure about other countries. And then hopefully Thai people don't mind my saying this. Thai people always have this one. It won't happen to us. It will. It is. It has. Okay, so this is something that we need to be aware in this internationalization era and also for the new normal. Anything can happen, and how to prevent it, how to make it more systematic. Because right now you say, okay, we do 1, 2, 3, 4 for all this. But then, how do people know? How do the newcomers know? How do you know that the policy is good? How do you know that the process works? Senior leaders have to do that. Right now, some of you are tied up with a lot of policies at the national level. You let your staff do it and they are struggling. And there might not be the good systems in place, okay? So look at this one in the more strategic manner. I talk a lot about generations for the past 5 to 6 years. Because generations are not the same, and also we provided the hard copy on managing the M exchanges, okay? So if you have time, read it on the plane back home, okay? Read it, and we also provide the soft file, okay? One of the challenges is that we have older, if not very old, like me, managing the exchanges for younger ones. We don't really know them much. And we have to engage ourselves in their world and engage them in our world as well so we can understand the thinking. They are not the same. They don't want what we want. And what we say, this is good, might not be good for them. This is the voice of the customer. What yesterday Kun Viradet from Cafe Dioro said, he listens to the customers. Do we listen to the younger ones enough and understand? You say, oh yes, yes, we understand. Do we do anything about it? And whatever we do for them, does it work? So new normal in the exchange system, actually, you would have to go for the appropriate technology. Some older ones might not be so good with the technology. How do you try to keep up and understand the thinking, okay? And also global standards, all this creativity. People are calling for creativity plus ethics. Look at what we saw yesterday from people in the field. And what do we want out of our university provision? Do we want to see students succeed in their lives? By us or by them? Or by both, okay? So these are something that need to be strategic and systematic. I try to write some of the things to really trigger more ideas, and you might have your imagination. What are the leaders' role? Definitely from yesterday and the first day, fact-based. Do you know your current status when you are trying to say mobility is high on the agenda? Do you know your current status? Do you have information? Do you have your strategic objectives? I accommodate everyone. Oh, Germany wants to come. Okay. Netherlands, yes. Oh, EU. Okay. What about other ASEAN? You accommodate everyone. Is it strategic? Or that is your strategies? Go for that. Okay, so you really have to make sure that you think about that, countries, discipline, and finally what you want to do is the student learning. Otherwise, what is the existence. What is the reason for your existence? You really have to go back and then look. And key improvement. So this, if you want to manage the exchanges, you start from recruitment. It's not systematic yet, but from recruitment, orientation, what CC said, orientation, and then support during the exchange, something like if people get AIDS, or during the disaster time, or if they really want some activities, okay? And self-reflective, what you did on the first day, and sharing to the circle and assess the whole process, and come back again to the room. This is systematic. But you have to make sure that each box proves that it works. Does it work? So there are a lot of steps involved just for exchanges. As leaders, what is your role? You have to make sure that it is on your agenda if you want it. You have to make sure that you communicate to all others. You have to make sure that there are systematic steps for them to follow. What else? I just couldn't really let this one go. This is from a Fulbright alum who said, a Thai, who said he suffered so much, he or she, I couldn't really remember. He or she went to the US, and he said he had to be assertive. Actually, there was one story. One guy who was working for his PhD, he said he really wanted to participate because we normally would be quiet in class unless we were asked to answer. So that day he said to himself, he would participate interactively in the class. He started reading other articles, he highlighted everything, and he even asked questions at each point, what he wanted to ask. He said after his class, he came back to his dorm, he cried so much because he couldn't raise his hand. He couldn't say a word. This is still in our culture because the way of our teaching learning system. Okay, this is an exercise for you to reflect. How many times in your leadership have you done this? Have you done it before? Or every year you have the same International Day. Today, Vietnam Day. Tomorrow, Thai Day. And then you have every National Day. And then it goes on and so, oh, I'm so tired. I have a lot of things to do. But then, does it answer your vision missions? Does it go to your students? Do they have experience? Yes, they do have experiences. What? Will their internationalization, their international perspective change? We don't really think about it, okay? So that's why self-reflection is really good for us to look at. Another thing, I too was brought up in a silo. We think only in our framework. So when I put it inbound, outbound, local, we tend to say, okay, what about inbound? What about outbound? What about local? Do we feel that we ever mix them together so they can mingle? Do we feel that we have to communicate for the whole community to say, okay, right now we are trying to do IAH, internationalization at home. Everyone is a learner. How? let us do it. For example, internationalization in the classroom. Do we use the diverse background to teach? We always have the revision of curriculums on paper. Here, every 5 years, you revise your curriculum. But the world has changed every minute. 5 years is too late. And beside being too late, it's on paper. How would you train the faculty members to really know how to use diversity as their teaching materials, as the way they deliver? How do you yourself be the model of the learner? These are all the things that internationalization at home will become more strategic. Okay? Otherwise, then we'll have a lot of activities. In one of the universities in Thailand that I went on an assessment team, and the one in charge of international cooperation got very upset because one of the weaknesses that we identified, and we call it opportunities for improvement. We say one of the opportunities was to go back and then be more strategic. And he was very upset. He said, we have been doing a lot of activities. We have a lot of MOUs. Oh, and every day I jump from here and there, and then I rarely have dinner with my family anymore. It's time for us to look back, to see whether what we have been doing and investing our time and energy work. If not, internationalization can never go anywhere. We only boast to other people. Oh, yes, we have this, we have that. Oh, you have everything. But it doesn't work. If it works, your graduates will have all the companies coming in to really recruit since they start the school with you, okay? So IAH means we are trying to maximize the experiences on campus, outside campus, for our students, faculty, and ourselves as the senior leaders to have the international experience. It can be anything. So KM has been the key role as well, okay? So one of the things that you have to look at is the cross-cultural learning from the ones who come to you. I have learned a lot of cross-cultural experiences. And one of the things that I learned is about my own culture. I didn't realize how Thai people could be this way, how we always have the matching DNA. We match everyone. In one situation, one American Fulbrighter came. He said, I couldn't take it anymore. P-tip, sister tip, okay, older sister. I can't take it anymore. Okay. What's wrong? People match me every day. You just go along with it. You say, oh, okay, anyone. But he said, I just couldn't make it to the day now. I can't go along. So I say, okay, so go back, be serious with your host, saying that I'm up to here, I cannot take anymore. Be straightforward. So each time, little things could mean something very serious and frustrating to our exchange students and scholars, okay? One time, this matching also, one teacher took the measurement tape and then started measure the height of our American girl. Next morning, that teacher came back saying, oh, okay, my son is a little bit taller than you. You can be my daughter-in-law. These little things, it seems minute. How could you collect that and become the lessons learned for the whole community to be aware? I now talk more of the higher level for you, and I would gossip about some of the ministers. Some ministers, one minister went to a Muslim country. And that particular country invited us, okay, me included, for a lunch. His wife went along with him. His wife took out the shredded pork at that lunch table and shared with everyone. What could you do? The only thing that I could do, I just hide. I just put it and then hid it at the back of my chair. Then the wife goes, "Where is the pork?" What could you do? The minister made a lot of mistakes choosing her as his wife. And we didn't have any choice to have him as our minister. Okay? And a lot of mistakes come from the cross-cultural issues, which could damage the international relations. And in one case, which was very strong, the interpreter couldn't really interpret for his boss. I felt so bad. I wanted to die there. Because it's something that we think, with common sense, people wouldn't say anything. You would never know. And that's why you have to be the role model of the cross-culture. And how? That would be strategic, how to learn fast, how to communicate fast, and how to change everything to be more internationalized. Yet, retaining your own identity too. Not just, everything have to follow the West. I don't think so. When they are in our territory, they better do as we do. And sometimes we may need to adjust our traditions too. So, a lot of things that happen and how I really learn about cross-cultural issues is through reflection. When we are very quiet, that could mean we haven't spent enough time doing the reflection ourselves, okay? Effective methods, and then you see later this afternoon, rating before and after, thinking about yourself before you came to this forum and after the forum, fill in the blank, some of the things that you may want to, one thing that pop up in my mind. First thing pop up, top 3 best, comparison to your own culture or use of pictures. These are the reflections that you can do with your staff, do with yourself every week. Remember what Dr. Kalinko said? Every week, ask yourself what you have done. Could you do it better? And then actually, does it make you really think and then go forward what is happening with me? Okay, last workshop before lunch. No work, no lunch. Okay, now. The fifth workshop only for you to reflect, because to have it as a strategy, you really have to make sure that you already have the vision mission.
Don't forget the back end.
Right. Now, for this particular workshop, people always ask, what could I do when I go back home? I come to a forum, I go back, I don't know how to start. So, that's why I said, if you go back home and you write to Dr. Chansawit saying that I don't know how to start, I will go to your country and I will present to you by hand this sheet, okay? So this one is for you to really look, answer, and then share with your group. Identify common and unique issues and then put on the flip chart so we can learn together. You're sure that whatever you say yes is aligned with your mission or not? And if you don't have the definition of IZN, how do you know that it's aligned? If your mission doesn't really say internationalization, how do you make sure that things that you have done aligned with you want to do? Or it's just one piece of activity? Or just a very small fraction of what you want to do? or they are already strategic. I will find some incentive. This is the mint. Really, you want to present or you want the tic tac?
Both. Okay. In fact, I don't know our member. I try my own, okay?
Okay, all right. Okay, now
That's not
let's see.
like I will refer to all member. I just start my university first. Number one, we make sure that we unsure that we have international or not. Yes. Second is we say no, because we don't have, we're not sure our strategy is focused to ICN. And the third, we also say unsure. And the fourth is unsure. And the fifth is you say no, because we have the senior leader showing support to ICN. I think so. Not is young possible.
Okay.
And then transit network seem to be support say yes, and teaching learning in support leader crucial knowledge and skill yes. And that's member please yourself.
No, well, what about the back? The other. Again.
Oh, no, please.
Oh.
You continue. Not yet read it. So I got the tip already.
Oh no. Only half.
Okay. So you can make this one. Join research activity, support research, domestic one. I say it's no.
No, okay.
And then research focus on growth, I think is yes.
Yes,
More
all right, good.
international. And the knowledge management process place for the capturing, sharing, tactic, knowledge. We also yes, because we want international. And support activity available for international, say yes.
Okay. All right. This, yes. You like to share or questions? Okay.
Because we are from the same university.
Right. Yes.
And actually, what he said about the first university definition of the internationalization, of course, yes. He already answered yes. But he said yes. I'm sure, okay. But actually, I'm clarifying could be yes, but need to take action. And the second one, internationalization process aligned with vision and mission. Actually, I would like to share that we have the 5-year strategic plan. And in our strategic plan, we already make clear to put the sentence that in terms of internationalization, we need to promote or increase the number of the outbound, inbound student. Already have in our strategic plan. So this, if say no, I think
all right.
Not agree.
This is really good. Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Are really good, giving me what I really want to say next. Okay. People would say, when you say yes, what about other people? He said unsure. Here she said yes. This can happen to all universities because communications is not clear.
Yes.
Or during the strategic plan, you didn't really involve the key people. Or etc. etc. What are the root causes? And so that's fine. Yeah. So at least you see what message you sent might not get across to the right people at the right time, and it might not be the right message. Right? So this is the role of the leaders to make sure that people have the shared goal, have the same understanding. Great. Very good. And what you can do is, when you go back home, ask your colleagues to do it. And then some will be yes, some will be unsure. Then you are in trouble. You have to find something. And you have to manage to become more strategic, okay? Yeah. So this is really nice.
Even though we said yes,
Uh-huh.
right? Even though you said yes, you still need some action to revise,
Right.
And to whatever to make it better,
Right.
in my idea, because nothing is perfect in here.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. And also, for yes to be the real yes, how do you know that you say yes, 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 yes? Actually, it's not a yes. Actually, it's just really a piece of activity that you feel good to talk around, to promote, to tell people, yes, we have this one. Oh, we also have this one. We have done that. Oh my goodness, don't ask further. Is it good? Is it aligned with your mission, vision? What is vision, mission? Do you have a definition? What is the definition? And I will test. I will go to your university and say, okay, 100 people say, we have the definition. Write it down. Keyword, same or not? Okay, so this is what leaders have to do. You have to make sure that the message is the right message at the right time, sent to the right people, and align it with your vision mission. I just draft it up because you have to really identify key topics. For the West, they love to talk about internationalization of curriculum as part of their IAH, internationalization at home. For me personally, don't take it if it's not your context. But for me personally, I don't believe in paper. I don't believe that working on the curriculum will make our students experience best. Because paper is paper, it sits there. Paper is paper because you have to hand into the Ministry of Education. Just abide by the law and nothing else, for me, okay, personally. But I want to have the in-class, outside of the class, the actual actions that are strategic, that we can assess, and we know that it works, okay? So here, from the first day, do you really know what your current status is? Go back to the maximization of inbound, outbound, and then any resources on campus. How have you done that? Does it work? You have the strategic objectives or not? And if you say you are not so sure about the definition, time to go back to your definition. Must it be similar to others? No, it's your context. You can copy from anyone, yes, if it's your context. Okay, so do whatever you want. But the whole community, the key people will have to understand that. Key group, and then you have to make sure that you want the result. What results you want to see? It's not just international activities. Yes, we have a lot. We have cooking day, we have costume day, we have every day. For what? You want student experience to go out and then go to other countries. Oh, I know your flag. I know what you wear. I know what you eat. And that's it. For us, when I was at Fulbright, before they went to the US, what we did was that, okay, learn about your own roots. We set up a cooking class. It's not just any cooking class. We chose specific dishes that Americans and other nationals love. We identify 3 dishes. We have nutritionists coming in to tell them why these ingredients. And we tell them to make sure that they know how to cook, know how to explain, and know the philosophy of Thai cooking. This is the core of the experience, okay? It's not just activity at number, and fun, okay? Mm-hmm. Can we wait again for the physical exchanges for Kuala Lumpur Declaration to work? Or should we start and integrate internationalization at home as new normal to start now? Okay, instead of waiting and waiting. We don't have time to waste. And still we're struggling, yes, definitely with the exchanges. Yet, what about the mass of the students on campus? What about the mass of the faculty members who don't want to go out anywhere because of their English? But they have so many capabilities to contribute. So for IAH and IZN leaders, you have the direct role to integrate with vision and mission. This is what we try to craft from the first day up to now. If you don't really have the right vision for your context, you don't identify well your missions, you are dead because you gear the whole university to the wrong direction. So that's why we have to revisit, revise, think of what is happening in our context, something around that, turn it into more strategic approach, because we can't do everything. We can never do everything. And what people suffer most from IZN is that we don't really have the commitment from the leaders. The leader only says, yes, go international, yes, okay, so you shake hand and you sign. That's it. No, more strategic. How? Show your commitment and also become the role model. Oh, I make mistake because, oh no, this is something that Muslims really don't want us to do. Tell them, communicate, share your mistakes. In our countries, leaders can do no wrong and can never be wrong. We can be wrong. Share that we are human beings. Share that, oh, I broke it today. This is the story. Share the storytelling, okay? And be resource-oriented. When you really look at the whole system, when you have vision, mission, you have to make sure that the whole strategic planning align. You have to make sure that the people who work for you understand and act. You have to make sure that you listen to your students and stakeholders good enough. You have to make sure that the curriculum development is done in the proper and your contextual way, okay? What else? I come up with the leaders integration. Here, you have the vision, missions, values. You want to have student experience and success. Some people said, no, I don't want student experience. Okay, you choose what fits with your context. For me, I would prefer to have student experience and success from IZN and IAH. I would think of key stakeholders and resources. I would manage the strategic planning from fact-based evidence, put some money. If you want it to work, definitely it needs some funding from your own university. You don't give money to every project, but strategically you will give that. And how to really measure it. That is the assessment, okay? Almost the last slide. Jim Collins said, for leaders to make something great, their ambitions need to be for the greatness of the work, not themselves. It's not about personal ambition. It's about achieving the mission. Together is my own word, okay? Together. Because they will get credit for working together with us. We will eventually get credits from managing the whole picture, the holistic picture. Discussion, any questions, any observation, any worries, any discouragement, anything. Quiet, oh my goodness, this is serious. Any discussion, any question? Do you think you can do it when you go home? Not easy. If it is easy, we don't do it. That's the philosophy. Because it is not easy and we want our younger generations to survive well in the world, we will challenge ourselves.
internationalization. It's important that you have more that in Thailand or your experience that you have.
The tips, actually, I try to encourage all the universities to come up with their definitions. They don't really have their definitions as yet. And the key requirements now will be the student and staff exchanges high on the agenda. But for us, specifically, I think leadership is not that committed, not visible to be international themselves. So leadership is not very strong when it comes to internationalization. They don't perform in international arena as much as we would love to see. Okay, they perform because the IRO office say, okay, you do this, you do that. So you can order the bosses to do international activities all the time. Boss, okay, you stand here, and then you go up, and then you shake hand. The first one you shake hand is this, far too ceremonial. But I want someone to take the lead, saying that, okay, for the exchange program, you have the strong orientation, we'll have assessment, start it up in a system, and then get it going. I think that would be one. I give you an example of a medical school. This medical school saying that one of the challenges is to become internationalized. So they invited me over to the medical school and then talk about internationalization and quality. One day, their vice dean called and said, oh, I'm very excited. Today, we have an activity, the competition with the EU students. Naturally, my first question is, okay, Ajahn, how many times will you do it? Will you do it again next year? Oh, we have been doing it for 3 years now. Oh, sustainable. Feels so good. Okay. All right. Now, what have you learned from this activity? How do you know that you have learned something and students have learned? Oh, they capture the knowledge from students and the activities. And they have their knowledge in the knowledge portal. They have the web portal for other people to use. Knowledge management is not just coming here in a community of practice and say, okay, what did you learn? What did you learn? No. What did you learn? Digest it into something important. Go back to the web portal. Use it for the next and future incidents if that occur. One very clear example. I was at a company, CP, if you know 7-Eleven, okay? If you don't, visit it, okay? Just nearby the hotel. It's owned by CP, CP. I went to that particular factory and I was intrigued. Actually, they were showing that during the bird flu incident, they were shocked because they sell a lot of food and they need a lot of chicken to supply to the market. What they did was they called meeting right away and then they had the process. That is part of the knowledge management, and it's not just it. They recorded everything from 1 to 10, what they learned from that particular management in that crisis. They put in the web portal. A few years later, a very similar incident happened. They went right back to that, and they start from 1 to 10. And they said, okay, they managed to give a session of all the leaders within how many minutes. Then they control the good advantages to the whole system. Okay. No more questions. Are we still going to meet in the afternoon? Okay, one more question.
Yeah, it may take the time for lunch, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was thinking about the financial capital. You seems to be haven't discussed much about the finance problem. Yeah, so I think the most, maybe not the most, but the very important or the very important challenge to the university to do the internationalization is the finance constraint. Yes,
that's true. I didn't really touch much about money because when people talk about money, that's the end of everything. because you don't talk about strategies. Now, when you talk about funding, how could you get funding if internationalization is not on the agenda, is not your strategic objective, is not in your vision and mission? Make it happen, and leaders have to commit with some funding for those purposes. And that's why you have to become more strategic. It's not just, okay, this year we will sign five MOUs, and because, sir, you haven't been to Sweden, let's go to Sweden. So, with the vision that are clear, it will lead to the third part, the funding. And many of you will be familiar with BSC, the Balanced Scorecard. Definitely funding is on the issue. And also for many universities that have become autonomous, when they really have to make sure about their own funding, part of the administration is funding. But funding with strategic plan help you know where to put the investment. Okay. Anything else? I'll be with you in the afternoon as well and say, think of more questions, think of more observations, comments, worries, and then we'll share here. Okay, because I can never have all the answers to all the questions anyway. Okay? All right, is here, so please come back to see each other in the afternoon, huh?
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Pontip. Now is favorite timing for many people, lunch. And the lunchtime, we have it on the same restaurant as on Monday, on the 36th floor, and the style is the International Buffet. And for just before you leave...
With or without funding. Okay? Now, if with partial funding, it's still easier to really work together, right? Senior right head will coordinate the big picture. But without any funding, do we have any hope to meet and work together? I'd like you to consult with your group and come up with the two most important projects. Okay. Yeah, even without fund or with some, if you say without fund, you say impossible, say that. Okay, so we know the position. Or you have some way out to really co-host, to share resources of some kind. Think of the project. So when we talk about this issue, it seems that there are two different issues. First, what do you want to really learn more or share more, okay? Second, don't put funding first. Funding first, impossible, done, go home, okay? Second, funding. With partial or without funding, would it be possible or how you would want to manage it, okay? And then come up with two projects, right? And then we'll ask you to post it there, okay? Maybe you may need more than 10 minutes. Or if it's impossible, half a minute, done. Time's up. My first question, is it possible to work together under this university consortium with partial support? Yes or no? Yes, okay. This is yes, that is no? Yes. 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 Without any support, funding support, is it possible to work together? No. Yes, okay. Very strong yes here. What about this? Unsure. All right. Very diplomatic, not no, huh? Okay. Yes or no? Without any funding support, would it be possible to work together under this consortium? We use partial. Partial, right? So, okay. Yes. No support, no funding support, still
Not sure.
not sure.
We start with the partial support, and then we know that
Okay, okay. With partial support first, please, please. Okay. Maybe. All right. Okay. Now, each group has to come up with 2 projects that you really want to work together. Okay. Now, feel free and think that we have resources. What are the 2 projects? Don't think about funding. Funding is done. Okay.
So let's start the project without funding that our group share with each other here. We like to develop the curriculum together, right? Because we don't need any money to support, because when we talk together, we talk online, email, and so on, and we send the details through email in order to exchange the academic agreement together in terms of curricula. And then this one is very important for credit transfer. In terms of universities exchange, and then we don't need any money. We need only our expertise and specialization in order to share with each other. And time, yes, that is what we share with each other.
So the first project is to work on the curriculum together. That means
Right.
you want to compare, you want to improve, or what?
Right.
Everything, right?
Compare, improve, and agree in terms of the credit transfer. Right?
Okay, all right. That is the first curriculum. Second.
And the partial funding support that we talk together is the students and staff exchange program, in which each university will support the student and the staff by airfare only. And then their tuition fee or accommodation will be waived by reciprocal both university. So when the student from, suppose from China coming to stay in Thailand, the Thai side will look after them like family members, looking after them, providing them their accommodation and free for their tuition, right? And simultaneously, when Thai students go to that country as a host family, they have to look after. But the university pays only the tuition, the airfare for the students.
Find your way to us, and we'll take care of you.
Right, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, what about this? 2 projects. Please.
No. Representatives. Your representatives. Our 2 important project is if we got the partial support from Simeo. We have no experience on internationalization, I think, in our institution. So that if we have experience, having experience or not having experience, the first thing is to establish IAH or IZN. We have to start the seminar within our institution, and then we invite or decide international partnership to that seminar.
Okay.
This is the first thing.
Okay. All right. So the first project is to do it nationally, but invite regional representatives to join in. And that would be one of the best way to really work together. That is another form of arrangement. That is good. You have the second project too?
Is to decide inbound receiving or outbound sending, which one is much more easier and easier to our institution. And then this is including academics, faculty, and students, and administrative staff also.
Okay, so the second one will be the staff and student exchanges. All right. Okay, so hopefully that will be with the partial funding. All right. Okay, but the first one is the national. That means wholly sponsored with regional partners. Okay. Now. It's okay.
We are we would invite a representative for our group to. We wouldn't like to prioritize student exchange and curriculum in advance. First, I want to disseminate new novel concept at home thoroughly. First, and then I want to invite one of the members from who attended this event and share our experience to each other. It may be need bit funded. Yeah. Yeah.
No need for funding, huh?
But maybe if we invite foreign speakers, it may need partly funded. Yeah.
Okay, so at least this would be quite similar arrangement. That means national effort, okay, or university effort, but involve people who have come into this forum
In
to
the second
share.
and the second project, we would like to invite one of the participants who attended the meeting to pass in some extended period. We would like to invite one of the participants from this meeting
Yes.
to our home institution and
Yes.
share our experience and challenge it about the concept.
Okay,
It
so
may
that could
need,
be.
in the case we could need money and finance. Yeah.
Who's gonna fly them in? They fly them in themselves.
Yeah, we have to.
You try
negotiate,
to find
find
some.
partnership.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So this is something unique. That means some Okay, next. 2 projects. Okay, very innovative, very creative. Something that I didn't really think of.
Okay, so come to the group 5. Actually, our group is not so different from the previous group that I has mentioned. For the first project, in case of you asked us to conduct one project, we were thinking about the curriculum development as well. But yes, a bit different from the group 1, that we are conducted the international conference or seminar related to this curriculum development. And partially support from CMO Right. And the other fund, we, the member, try to take a burden by our own, but especially the host university, we're looking for the internal sponsor. So we will try to find various organization or institution or company that are willing to support us. This is the one project. And the second project, we were thinking about actually also not so different, the faculty and student for exchange, but mainly we focus on the joint degree program, especially my colleague raised that, but this program is master. So we wish to send our student to the host university by asking them, especially student will, home university will take care of like some part to help the student for the airfare or living, but the host university will take care of our faculty or student for helping to providing the tuition fee, exam tuition fee, and also for the if they have accommodation, so can provide to us as well. So this is come up to our. Okay, I forgot to mention the what field is it, especially related to the environmental. And yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay, thank you.
basically, we have seen common issues, common projects you want to work together. curriculum development, and exchanges of students and staff, all right? And we have several ways of funding. Reciprocal by individual universities here, national university sponsors with invitation extended to others, and then third, internal partnership, trying to find in-country sponsors to really fund international activities so we all can work together in some form, seminar, international conference on specific issues. Now, these two will find it very tough because all has been said. Okay, who's next?
Would be developing or formulating the international program, because these university haven't got any international program. So, and my university have such kind of advanced program. So I think we can together, support or give consultation or to support them to develop advanced education. For the second project, he mentioned about the governance, the university governance. So that are the two projects we would like to do. But for my university, we are also thinking about the how to raise the ranking of the university through the publication. So to do have a high ranking in terms of publication, we should have some kind of joint research project or seminar or conference, so that we can develop the co-author writing or publication. Yes, thank you.
Okay, something really different. I didn't expect that.
Hopefully, it's similar. I think first one, we also concerned about the joint develops curriculum. That's all students, all university can join and work together. And based on develops curriculum, we can invite each other to come to learn, to share, and to build. Yes, and besides that, we can have a invite based on the seminar and meeting between among university. We can have a seminar or how can I say? Because teach for students on some subject that our professor from different university can learn, can share. And the second one also in terms of training for leader capacity improvement. That's very important to increase and improve the awareness from the leader. They can lead the university to ISNs. So that is very important to raise their voice and their decision. This conference is one important for them, but not most of them. Some of them cannot join. So another one is one of the best way to improve their awareness and very important forums. Thank you.
The forum focusing on leadership skills. Okay, more or less we have quite a few issues, and I hope you have written it on the post-it, and Poon will collect them. And this would be the inputs for Dr. Chantavit, the director of CMO Right to work and move forward. The most beautiful thing that I have heard is that you are trying to find the internal resources. Remember that you have another group of friends with expertise. Use them. Maximize the resources that you have as the first start of the exchange among yourselves as well, okay? So the expenses wouldn't be that much because we are very close to each other. People, any word from Dr. Chantavit here at this point?
Actually, I'm trying to draw from this forum what you really feel that is priority, so that we can work alongside, trying to convince people with money to be joining us in carry on the activities. But however, we shouldn't rely on external help. We need to be self-sufficient because things changing, and nobody is giving away anything free for anybody. So I think that it's best if we can rely on ourselves, be self-reliant. One successful project that Simeo Raihet is doing is on student mobility called AIMS, AIMS, capitalized. AIMS stand for academic mobility. Academic ASEAN International Mobility of Students. I'm mixed up with another project. So that each one are covering their own costs, meaning that we don't pay attention to outsider. So among the participating countries, each government provide funding for their participation in the program. So they would put up like 100 scholarship a year, and university selected to join the network can apply for that scholarship, the share of the scholarship, and the exchange is on the balance basis. If we send out 100, we should be receiving 100 from the other side. So that's how it's being operated at the moment. So no outside money, only money from each country that are participating. I have been going around talking to Ministry of Education Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos for the government to come up with funding for this project. And this year, I think the result is quite positive. So this year, the 3 countries will be joining our annual meeting to be organized in October. They will join as observer first to see how things get done, and maybe next year they can really send students to us. But that's for the student because they don't have the money. The university, the government have to help. But you yourself as leader of university, are you thinking of maybe meeting annually among yourself, among the leader of the universities, the GMS University Consortium, and each one cover their own costs, and Simeo Raihet will be very happy to help organize the meeting, something like that. So if maybe you think about it and share among your colleagues here, and if that is going to happen, we will be very glad to help, in being like a secretariat to help organize it. Or if the 4 universities from each country join together to host the meeting, while the other coming into the host country cover their own costs, but the host country have to cover the cost for organizing the meeting. Would that be possible? So this is also another practical action that can be taken. But when it comes to capacity building, we would be trying very hard to seek partners from other countries to come in and help support, in terms of experts or actual funding. I'm working on with the Japanese government at the moment. I don't know how it's going to come out, but it's focused on the GMS University in the GMS sub-region. So it will take a while. We already come up with the proposal for the Japanese, and I'm also just starting to work with the Korean. So your input about the priority, your concern will be very, very helpful for us to put up the proposal so that whatever we ask for help will be matching your need in the Greater Mekong sub-region. So I'm very happy to hear that everyone here, every group are quite positive about, cover your own costs and but we will try also. I know that it's very difficult, like Thailand in the past. We just wait for country to give some project, providing money for the scholarship, for capacity building, and we have to wait and wait, for someone to come in and help. It's now time goes so fast, so speedy. We cannot wait. We have to do something ourselves. So if you can agree among the 24 universities to do something and to move forward, we will be around to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Chantawit. Okay, we now move on to the second section of this session. We talk about lead strategically. You said, oh, you were talking about that the other day, but we digested it further for you to see that new normal as VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. How you should turn VUCA into vision, understanding. That means communication as well, to make it clear. Clarity, everyone knows the same thing. And agility, that means prompt, have the speed for change anytime. For visionary leadership, you need to be future-oriented, think ahead, far ahead, being a futurist, and constant self-reflection. Have the ears for listening and also able to communicate well. Another quality is that you need to be persistent. Keep doing that until you get your message across, until everyone understands, align the mission and vision together. Again, context specific, we have been talking about that a lot, and also quality. The big task is to translate your vision and mission into strategic objectives. How would you do that? Go back and then look at some of the tools and see how you would simplify the process to correspond to your own needs, okay? What we have been hearing is that you need to identify what you are really good at and want to be unique. Dr. Kalinko was saying that he doesn't want to be the best, but he wants to be the only one who does it. What about you? What is your ambition? You want to be the best. You want to be the top of your country. You want to be the top 50 of the world. Clear and concise, and then go for it, okay? Tools, like it or not, realized it or not, actually there are a lot of tools running around for you. I drew some of the tools from first day down to today. First day, we talked about BSC, Balanced Scorecard. This could be a tool where you have more understanding of all the aspects and try to make the alignments and integration. You have the tools going to ISO, IBET, and many other tools that you have, the standardized products that are available in the market. Those could be your tools. Depending on you to pick and choose, okay? What about quality frameworks? AUN come up with this quality framework, Baldrige of the US, etc. What could be the framework that you think would fit you best? We talk a lot, and then especially Dr. Kalinko was talking about brainstorming and consensus. They talked a lot. And even yesterday, said 50 forums for people to talk together. So that means brainstorming, consensus, are the tools for you to talk with your colleagues and then understand, mutually understand what we are going to do together. surveys, questionnaires to come up with the voice of your students, what they need, the voice of your staff, what else do they want, what else you can give further, what else to make them more competent, to move to the mission and vision. Reflections, definitely we do much less in this region. The West does it a lot and almost all the time. Let's try to go back and be the leader who think a lot about you today. Wow, I learned a lot. Wow, I feel I grow up to another stage. And then integrate to whatever you're doing. This is another tool that I think are very effective. And especially yesterday, when we went to the bakery line, the Cafe d'Oro, I gave him the set of questions that you saw. He was shocked, actually. And he said to me, oh, you sent the question as if I were a professor. And it's so difficult. I say, that's okay. We just want you to talk about yourself. So he started thinking about it, and he turned it into a storytelling without him knowing, I feel. Because he said, when I was a child, that is the way to tell your story. That is the way for you to look back to what you have done in the past to make you you today. And this would help your students when they have the experiences overseas, when they are exposed with foreigners or exposed with people of diverse backgrounds. The last one is that people talk a lot about good practice, but we didn't really realize. Cafe d'Oro and the man Kun Panya from the field. That is a good practice. How to get to the person, to get to the group of people that will listen to you and hear your voice. At the same time, be influential to push the project through. In that specific context, in that freshwater and seawater fight, he saw that the elderly in the village were the influential people because they could instruct